Welcome back to Save Toys YouTube. I'm your nerdy and lovable host, Travis, and on this week's edition, we have a special guest coming at us all the way from the Comic Chat Authority YouTube channel down in Florida. His name is Cody Johnson, and he's a rising star in the YouTube world and someone that I'm very honored to have here on the channel. So, without further ado, let's jump right on into that interview. Just like Santa Claus on December 25th, another episode of Save Toys come and gone. This is, of course, Travis with Save Toys, like I said in the intro. And Cody, I want to tell you some things I think about your channel firsthand. I love it. When I get to watch your episodes, one thing that's always consistent is your energy. And as a kid, I was a really big fan of Elvis Presley. And one thing they talked about, people used to say about Elvis Presley, no matter how old you were, what age you were, he had something charismatic that, you know, it just got people's attention and excited people of all. And I feel like you have some Cody magic. So that's my opinion of the channel.
Well,
Any comments on that?
Yeah, I do go into it. I get that a lot. I do go into the episodes with a lot of energy. If you go back in some of the earlier episodes, it was amped up a lot more energy, and I kind of like toned it down and found the sweet spot. So that's kind of what I'm at now, is the sweet spot of my energy.
Well, if it counts for anything, I loved your energy even in the beginning. I mean, I remember there was an episode in front of a library that you were filming. A girl walked, a random stranger, you brought her into Comic Chat Authority and just started talking with her. I was like, wow, I wish I had that ability to do that.
Yeah, that was in the beginning before we had internet and like a decent computer and everything. But now our equipment we've upgraded all of our equipment, so everything's better now.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to let my viewers know we wanted the scoop. So, with that said, what brought you into Comic Chat Authority? I mean, it's been booming. It's been what? How long has it been? Like 6 months now?
6 to 8 months. Are you there?
We got a good connection. Yeah, I can see you. So what made you Cody Johnson of Comic Chat Authority? What created it all for you?
I was seeing other people's groups, and in everybody's group they only talked about one specific thing. Like you would have a Power Rangers group, an Avengers, like He-Man, X-Men. All of them was just spread out. And so I was like, I'm gonna bring a group where everybody can talk about everything they want. If you want to talk about My Little Ponies, horror, anything nerdy, you can get all in one place. And we're not gonna. I mean, we kind of stop some of the stuff that goes through, but for the most part, everybody's good with posting their collections or their nerdiness or just their whatever they collect.
So you're like the Walmart of the comic book niche, you know, a little bit of everything all in one place.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, is this something you've thought about for a long time, or you just kind of jump, or did you take a while to kind of plan? What was your strategy?
In the beginning, the name was just Comic Chat, and I just wanted to get. It was kind of just friends talking about their collection, like around the United States. Then they invited people, and it just kind of blew up. And somebody made us our first logo with the Comic Code Authority, and we just kind of took code out and put chat and just used the logo. It was kind of a fan made.
I thought it was real original looking. It reminded me of this comic book code. So I thought it was, man, that's cool.
Yeah, I think let me see. I don't think I have it on any of my books, but that's what it's from.
Awesome. Yeah, I think they stopped that probably. I don't know if it was the 70s or 80s, and I could be wrong. Anybody that wants to leave comments down below, let us know. But I can't remember exactly. But now your girlfriend's like your partner. All this, was she on board from day one, or did y'all kind of grow together with this?
We kind of grew together with the reviews because I got her on because I think it would help out because I read a lot of comic books, so I look at things when I read comic books different, and she really hasn't read any comic books until we started dating. So now you got my outlook that reads a lot of comic books and a new reader reviewing the book, so it balances out.
Kind of gives you some fresh set of eyes on things, right?
It does.
Excuse me for that cough there. Uh, well, is there a particular comic book like if what's your favorite?
My favorite comic book.
Yeah, you asked me that question. I said, of course, I'm more figure and movie oriented, but I had to search back from the '90s back when I was reading more comic books, and so you kind of caught me off guard. So maybe I caught you off guard a little bit. Turnabout's fair play.
Yeah, I don't have one specific comic book, but I really like Batman, and I really want to get Bob. Hold on, I'll show you. I got the picture right here. Demon in a Bottle from Bob Layton. I got to meet Bob Layton. He come down here to a comic book shop. I don't know if you can see it, but
It's a little fuzzy, but
oh, can you see it? Oh, it's breaking up again.
yeah. There we go. Got you back.
All right. Yeah, I'm a real big fan of Batman, but I want to get uh, Bob Layton's Demon in a Bottle.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good shot of it right there.
Yep. I actually got to meet him, and I got one of his prints, and he signed it. And me, being a big comic book collector, I don't know what I was thinking, but I got the print and got him to sign to Cody, Bob Layton, instead of just getting him to sign Bob Layton. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the business to like resell anything, so it just makes it that much cooler to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know how people go and meet all these comic book artists and put it on eBay for crazy money.
Uh-huh.
Yep, but
Yeah.
it's not me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've got like I showed you last time, my Batman that's signed by Eris Quinones from oh man, my brain. The older I get, the more my brain just checks out and leaves me hanging.
Yeah.
But hit Variant Comics. There you go. I really like a lot of his episodes, and so I got my aunt. She lives in Texas, and he was going to be in a store. I called her up and said, "Hey, look, can you run by tomorrow and just get a signature on anything you can find, any figure? Just grab one and let him sign it." And I got a letter from Dan Larson from Toy Galaxy. I actually emailed him a review, and he sent me I actually did a snail mail. I actually wrote him out a letter. He emailed me back, and I actually framed the email. And actually, my first episode of Save Toys was the review that I sent him of the figure. So,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Now, that brings me to my next question. You are well connected. When I see you on Facebook, it's always with interviewing people in the comic book world or at a convention like with that gentleman. Was that something you did before Comic Chat Authority? Is that just where you just like, are you kind of guys bold, walk up to them and say, hey, let's dive in the deep end of the pool and talk?
That's when I met Bob Layton was before Comic Chat Authority. Yeah, and the interviews kind of happened because there was a cosplayer, and it kind of started off as a joke. My buddy was like, "Hey, you should see why he cosplays and all this." And I was like, "All right, I'll interview him real quick." And I interviewed him, and I was just like, "I like this," and just
Mm-hmm.
started finding more people to interview.
So you networked before Comic Chat Authority, but it just kind of grew into more of a fine-tuned thing after Comic Chat Authority.
Yep.
Man, that's awesome.
And I'm getting better with my interviews every time I do one, because if you look at the beginning ones, they're kind of terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I don't think that, but I know whenever I was researching Save Toys, I started about maybe 2 months beforehand, really researching what to do. And I remember watching this guy that was training people and making YouTube videos just in general. And he said, just accept your first episodes are going to be crap. And I looked at mine like, man, yeah, they are. But I cherish those because that's what, and I still got a long way to go, but that's what kind of one step at a time. And I
Oh
think too
yeah.
many people get into this thinking I'm going to be number one the first week out. And it's for the long haul. It's not for the moment by moment plays, but yeah, you've got a great strategy with how you conduct business. I really admire it. Maybe my last question. My videos are a bit shorter than yours. I keep about less than 10 minutes, but
That's what I do with I do my reviews 10 minutes and I keep my interviews 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to talk about one more thing that I really like about your channel. That this is an area that now that we've relaunched Save Toys, that I'm trying to grow into because I saw how you did it. But I love how you actually do a lot on Facebook too. With my time scheduling and all, that's where I get the most of my comic chat authorities. Like I'll just see your posts, and I love it because me, toys, some comic book, which I really haven't done much with actual comic books yet, but and movies. But what I love about yours is you're constantly up there. Even it's like, if, of course, you haven't done this, but and I like using ridiculous examples to illustrate an exact point. It's kind of like you'll get up there one day and ask, "What color is the sky where everybody's live?" And I love that because it's like, and I know you didn't do that exact question, but I was making the point. You just interact with people on everything about their lives, and that's like that's how you meet people up front. Because one of the maybe mistakes of the earlier comic book movies was that they were a little too niche oriented, like only nerds saw them. And then Marvel came along, what, 10, 11 years ago and was like, let's just open this to everybody. So you had comic book fans coming. Then you had people coming to check them out. Then you had people that just like action movies. And through that business strategy, they widened the comic book niche for all of us. Yep. And I see you doing a lot of that on Facebook. If you want to like elaborate more about that, I'd love to get your feedback on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that later. It broke up a little bit. I couldn't hear the last little bit.
I'm sorry. I love how you interact on all different aspects of life frequently on Facebook. I feel like you're going to expand the niche for all of us by bringing more people in by just, asking them comments about everyday life. I think that's fantastic, and it challenges me. So what gave you the idea to do that?
Just to bring everybody together, because everybody knows a little bit about comics. Either you know Batman, Superman. You may not know everything, but you know enough to kind of get you by on the surface, and that's enough to start a conversation with anybody. If you're like, hey, I like Captain America, and you talk to another Captain America fan, and they're like, oh, well, did you know he did this, 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 and this? And now you might have best friends or friends, and you just have broaden your horizon on Captain America, and it might get you to go pick up a comic book.
Well, from everybody in the niche to you, man, we appreciate that. I think it's going to broaden it for all of us. So,
well, thank you,
Cody. I really appreciate you joining us today on Save Toys. Let me know when that shirt gets to you in the mail. It's a gift from us to you, and we really appreciate all you do, man.
Thank you, guys. Great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you again, Cody, for joining us on this week's episode of Save Toys. And for all our viewers here at YouTube, head on over to the Comic Chat Authority YouTube channel and subscribe, like, and show them some Save Toys love. And until next week, if you like it, collect it. See you then.